When last we left you, it was a late-minute goal scored by Zeke Harris off the header that gave Le Rouge the victory over AFC Cleveland. Tonight, the Minnesota TwinStars in town. Will we see more of the same drama? We'll find out next. It's the TwinStars and DCFC. Live stream coverage of the Detroit City Football Club is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. In partnership with the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Detroit City FC is excited to host youth clinics throughout the season. Each clinic will feature DCFC players and is free for kids 6 through 12 with a coupon that can be obtained at any local Metro Detroit Chevy dealer location. Be sure to stop by your local Metro Detroit Chevy dealer today. DCFC gets additional support from Motor City Brewing Works, Detroit Institute of Bagels, La Feria, Cottage Inn, Harry's, and McShane's. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside a very raucous Castech Stadium, where tonight the Detroit City Football Club plays host to the Minnesota TwinStars. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Neal Ruhl. My broadcast partner, former DCFC great, as well as University of Michigan standout Zeke Harris. And Zeke, as we take a look at the current standings brought to you by RIS, City finds themselves in the familiar spot of being on top of the table. It's always good to be number one, whatever time of the season it is.
It's always good to get the points. You can't argue with that.
It certainly was the case on the road matchup against Buffalo, as they came away with a late PK goal to secure the draw to give them that 4 points they have as they sit on top of the standings. As we take a look at tonight's matchup brought to you by Soccer World, the Minnesota TwinStars in town. And Zeke, no history between these two teams. The TwinStars, their first year in the league. That's always dangerous from a preparation standpoint, isn't it?
Yeah, that honestly worries me a little bit. They've seen teams in the past, but today there's a lot of what-ifs coming in.
There certainly is, and let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup. We see the starting 11 for the visiting Minnesota TwinStars. And for Detroit City, they'll be led by Josh Rogers. Of course, his PK goal secured the draw, and that has allowed City to stay on top of the standings. So we will take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have all the action for you. It's a TwinStars in Le Rouge.
Soccer, that's the sport for the rest of the world. But here, it's the kids' sport. The one people played before they grew up, before they moved on. And people call Detroit a city of the past, a place where people were born and grew up before they moved on. But we see something different. We see the game as more than kid stuff. And we see Detroit as the city of our future. So go ahead, watch a 200-year-old game played the right way in a 300-year-old city that won't quit, and tell us it can't last. Better yet, tell them.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Castech Stadium, where tonight Detroit City FC squares off against the Minnesota TwinStars in NPSL play. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Neal Ruhl, joined by my broadcast partner Zeke Harris. We are just about ready to roll as these two clubs will get acquainted for the first time. And Zeke, you and I talked about it a little bit in the opening. What are some of the challenges when you have a team that you've never seen before, and quite frankly, players you're not familiar with?
Yeah, it's difficult in the sense that you don't know who their key players are. Offensively, you don't know who their go-to guy is that really gets the goals for them. On the other side of that, you also don't know who their weak link is, as far as whether one of their big men in the back it's kind of off, or you really don't know.
Let's take a look at the weather for tonight's matchup. 82 tropical degrees. Summertime is in full swing, even though summertime is not in full swing. A slight chance of showers here this evening, but the sky looks clear for right now. The sun is warm, it's humid and sticky, and we are just about ready to roll as Le Rouge will be in the home whites, the Twin Stars in the visiting red kits with the white trim. The city will be moving from our right to left in our broadcast spot. As you get a look at the players, you've seen the starting lineups, and we are underway here in downtown Detroit. First place, Detroit City FC controls to start the match.
Ouch. Early on with the card. It's a bit surprising, but he definitely went cleats up.
So 17 seconds in, the referee goes to a yellow card. Is that Rogers that's down on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
It is. So Rogers is down. Of course, it was Josh Rogers who scored the PK goal in the 77th minute in the game at Buffalo to secure the draw last weekend. That kept City up at the top of the standings for the National Premier Soccer League. As Rogers is down, he's in some terrible pain. Just 17 seconds into this game and already a yellow card assessed against the Twin Stars as some of the players look on. The medical staff out there taking care of Rogers right now. Of course, the trainer is Mickey Tullett, the head coach Ben Pierman. He's been the coach here since 2012. The assistant coach at Michigan State, played at Michigan State. He won Big Ten titles back in 2004 and 2008 as a player. You see him looking on, and he obviously can't be happy with what he sees so far. One of the staples of this City lineup, Josh Rogers on the turf. A yellow card 17 seconds in. I know the guys in the truck are working to get another look at exactly what happened. Rogers, after about a minute, slowly gets to his feet.
And it's honestly well deserved. Going cleats up on him like that this early, 17 seconds, he said? This early in the game, come on now. Let's play a little bit first, yeah?
That yellow card assessed to Brian Grand, number 9. Grand, the transfer from Drake to the University of Wisconsin Superior. The second all-time leader in goals in Minnesota State high school history. So usually a guy that finds the back of the net. Gets the yellow card 17 seconds in, and Rogers will very gingerly walk over to the bench. The associate head coach for Detroit City, Adil Salmoni. And the assistant coach is Colby Cunningham. So we are ready to go. And Josh Rogers on the turf for about a minute and a half. He is still on the sideline. So we'll see if that fires up Le Rouge here today, as the Twin Stars control it up on the left side. And Northern Guard is ready to go. We know that.
Yeah. And what Coach Pierman did here was he dropped Kevin Taylor back into center D. He normally plays in the midfield for us, but he's played many positions in his career and isn't too afraid of defense either.
Josh Rogers back out on the field. There's a ball played up towards the middle looking for Colin McAtee. Twin Stars take it away, and they will try the left side again. Sammy Contreras on that right side, joining up into the rush before it's taken away by City. Falashe mixing it up. And now it's Zeke Harris over on the far sideline. Of course, Harris, the magical header in the 88th minute in the season opening win over Cleveland. Big victory in that Rust Belt Derby. So a throw-in coming for the Twin Stars. First 4 minutes of action brought to you by Grand Circus, bridging the gap between Detroiters and the businesses that want to hire great people. Kickstart your career with Grand Circus.
Minnesota's done well so far. That's a bad touch, but they've done well in keeping it in City's half.
angle. Had it touched away from him. Now it's Jeff Atkins. Touched away from Atkins. Rogers mixes it up with Brian Grand. Of course, it was Grand who had the yellow card against Rogers. So Grand hit the turf.
And it's funny because he got up as fast as he went down, so I'm glad the ref let that one go on and didn't get too crazy with it.
Ball played back up towards midfield. Latifa Lashe sends it through. Here comes McAtee. McAtee plays it ahead. On the run, Sadie to the right side. Right foot shot is in the back of the net. It's a goal for Detroit City.
Golazo!
Tyler Channel tickles the twine, and City takes an early 1-0 lead.
That's just too easy. That honestly was just a textbook play here.
So Colin McAtee with the unselfish play. And Zeke, what about that pass? There was a lot of guys, he was in the clear. There were a lot of guys that might have taken that shot, but he knew exactly what he had in Tyler Channel on the right side. Very unselfish play.
Yeah, that's a great ball. I mean, he could have easily taken it himself and maybe got a good shot out of it, but I'm happy to see Cyrus go for the team goal, really.
So some more physical play along the near sideline. Nate Engel hits the turf. He's shaken up. Referee calls the foul. So Zeke, a very physical beginning to this game. Obviously, we saw Josh Rogers 17 seconds in, knocked down to the turf. Team's giving it back and forth. There's no history between these two teams, but I'm going to tell you 6 minutes and 20 seconds in, it's not a very good 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't think there's too much behind it as far as them knowing each other from the past. It just seems like little tic-tac fouls that hopefully will stop being made. I mean, I want to see them play, not see them lay on the ground.
So 1-0. Le Rouge in the lead. This match isn't even 7 minutes old yet. Now Kevin Taylor possesses. Goes wide right to McAtee. Lachey drops it back. Ferguson. A little too optimistic on that ball. It's played by Matthew Elder, the goalkeeper today for the TwinStars. Elder, the keeper at the University of Wisconsin Superior, he was a two-time WIAC Conference Defender of the Week last year. A 0.94 goals against average in college play.
Their passes here are a little lazy. Right? They're just kind of swinging it around without too much concentration behind it. I mean, that's how they got caught on the first goal. Might happen again.
Well, those guys on the screen right now are not lazy.
Oh, they're always ready.
They are into
always ready. I wasn't able to write down what they put on the board before the game today, but they are hungry. They want goals, and then they want some more.
Here come the TwinStars on the left side. That ball played onto the reach of Sammy Contreras. Goal kick upcoming. Alex Boyanek. So Boyanek, the goalkeeper from France, plays his collegiate soccer for Saginaw Valley State. New coach for Saginaw Valley State this year. Andy Wagstaff, former assistant in Oakland, former assistant at Michigan as well.
Yeah, I know Wagstaff. I got a foul here. But yeah, and it was an assistant coach for us for a while, and great coach at that. I'm sure he'll do great at Saginaw Valley.
And in the meantime, another yellow card has been assessed. This time, Karim Darbaki, the guilty party. Rogers is on the turf again, and Josh Rogers has been a marked man here so far.
Yeah, you really don't see too many defenders getting fouled that many times. It's more times than not, it's more the offensive players, but I guess Josh keeps on putting himself in that situation. Good for DCFC if he gets the cards early, as long as he doesn't end up getting one. I'm sure the ref will be watching him now to see for any retaliation.
So Shiwi plays it up. Jeff Atkins in the mix. Knocks it over the sideline, so a throw-in coming. Afi Darbaki will toss it in. Speaking of Saginaw Valley State, played his collegiate soccer there as well. trickles in on frame where Elder picks it up and plays it on. Midfield turnover. Here comes Kevin Taylor. And the TwinStars trying to mount an attack. Kevin Taylor puts a stop to the momentum. Now through the midfield. Ryan Grand in the books with that yellow card.
I love it. City's on every single touch. Every time they touch the ball, somebody is on their back or coming for them. That's how you force mistakes.
I heard it talked about that sports, whether it be soccer, football, basketball, whatever it is, there's two things that happen. You're either under pressure or you apply pressure. One of the two, that's it. There is no in between. Tonight, City is applying the pressure, especially defensively.
Yeah, it's really early on. They've been controlling it. Probably the first couple of minutes, City was a little bit off just from starting, but now it's undoubtedly leading towards City. Now this Cyrus is a guy who can get fouled. I don't know his height. I don't have the number here, but he's a quick, shifty guy who's very difficult to defend and baits you into diving a lot of times. And either you get him or he gets you.
Cyrus 80 in his 4th season here. Le Rouge. Ball served into the box. Towards the left side looking for Shiwi. Shiwi will drop it back, and it's played over the sideline. Throw-in coming for the TwinStars. But you talked about Cyrus 80. Won the Black Arrow Award for Team MVP last season, and he is a guy, there is no substitute for speed. Sadie's quicker than Snapchat.
Yeah, he's ridiculously fast. He has the confidence in the moves to match. He's definitely probably the best 1v1 player we've got on the field right now.
Speaking of Kevin Taylor, now he defends on the left side. Running and tracking it down is Ferguson. He plays it out.
Have you tried these El Guapo tacos?
Yes.
They are delicious. They are delicious.
We got to sample the fares here at Cass Tech before the game, which I'm always a fan of. Guapo, the food truck that's off over in the distance. Delish tacos, that's for sure. So we cross into the 13th minute, 1-0. City in the lead. 50-50 ball headed in the air by Zeke Harris, the hero from the last home game, the win over Cleveland. And the throw-in coming for the TwinStars, tossed into Contreras. He drops it back. Narvaki. Service into the box is headed out of harm's way.
Jeff Atkins is another speedy guy who works hard. Look at that, make a mistake.
And here comes Atkins now.
What can we do with it?
Sends it out to Channel. Ball played into the box, and running up and smothering it is Elder. So Tyler Channel, who has a goal already, made a bid for another one. The score remains 1-0.
City, they're hunting every ball. And that last play really started with Atkins. He just hustled and kept following the ball along. It's too bad he wasn't given a chance to get a goal there. But great hustle. I'm sure he'll have opportunities in the game moving forward, especially with his speed.
The first 15 minutes of action brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealer. Stop in to your local Metro Detroit Chevy dealer and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Early goal for Le Rouge to take a 1-0 lead. Interesting line of defense there by Matthew Elder in goal.
Yeah, he let that one go.
Close.
I've seen goalies do that and not turn out too well, so I'm happy saw it perfectly in that one.
Here come the TwinStars now on the left side. It's taken away, played up to McAtee. McAtee lost control.
You could see what he was trying to do there. He was trying to get on the inside shoulder of the defender. Do you hear it? That's gonna be the background sound the entire game. The Northern Guard, always excited, always ready.
Early goal for Tyler Channel. And that is where we stand. Detroit City with a 1-0 lead over the TwinStars. Here in this National Premier Soccer League game. We're in downtown Detroit. Neal Ruhl, Zeke Harris with you. Happy to have you along. Of course, feel free
Michigan
to check.
guys just making a connection. see 3 out there right now. Latif Alashe, Kevin Taylor, and Colin McAtee. I just got to give a shout out that Michigan's holding down this field right now.
We know.
This is a selfish plug to my alma mater.
Well, we make it work, though, Zeke. Of course, I'm an Oakland alum. You're a Michigan guy. We're foes on the soccer field during the college season, but we're friends up here.
Yeah, we're colleagues.
You're all right for a Michigan guy.
Yeah, we spend a little bit of time together.
Yeah.
We're working on our relationship.
We certainly are.
I'm not sure if listeners at home can hear the tension here.
Darbaki with it. Drop back to Kareem Darbaki. Now playing it through the middle is Brian Grant. It's taken away from Grant. Sadie chips it to the right side.
Shiwi on the far side here. See if he can get the ball back. He's going to retreat.
Taylor drops it off to Atkins. Atkins, second on Butler in points last year. He's an Atlantic 10 all-freshman team performer for Butler, 4-year starter at Utica High School, just down the road from where I live in Washington Township. Ball played through midfield. '17th minute, 1-0. Rouge in the lead. Goal from Tyler Channel. The difference so far. A tremendous pass from Cyrus Sadie. This portion of the game is brought to you by M1 Imaging. Fans, make sure you follow along on Twitter as well. Send those tweets. Long shot. Will go high and wide left of the frame.
That was there's a lot of hopes and dreams in that shot. A lot of hopes and dreams, but sometimes you got to go for it.
Fans, make sure you send your tweets at Detroit City FC with the hashtag #WatchCity. We'll get to some of the good ones. Of course, last home game, we had people check in from Thailand, Germany. Some guy was on his couch in Washington, D.C. That counts too.
Is anybody out there? I want to hear from you.
17 and a half minutes in. They have to like what they're seeing so far wherever you may be watching around the world. DeadCityFC.com. Ball comes through midfield. Zach Shiwi with it. Shiwi maintains control. His pass goes up into the crowd.
Looked like he didn't have too many options there. Tried to make a quick pass, didn't work out.
That'll be Kareem Darbaki. Darbaki played his college soccer at Northern Illinois, had a game-winning goal against Buffalo as a junior. Started 17 games in that junior campaign for NIU. A very accomplished college soccer player as well. Which usually, Zeke, is the resume. When you're here in the NPSL, typically most guys have been a high performer in the college soccer ranks.
Yeah, especially on City's team here. They got a lot of guys who were either captains, Big Ten, or some of them even went pro before. And some of the guys will go pro. We've had a couple of guys through the years make it to that next level. And I'm really proud to see him up there. A lot of my teammates from the past, as well as guys I played against, like Adam Badale from University of Detroit Mercy. Right now, I believe he's with the Columbus Crew doing well.
It certainly is a path.
Yeah, this professional atmosphere definitely doesn't hurt, and that's why a lot of guys drive a couple of hours just to come play, or even move across country for the summer.
Spend the summer, yeah, exactly.
Spend the summer in the beautiful city.
That's right. Ball played up. Long pass intended for Colin McAtee. But again, make sure you follow City on Twitter at Detroit City FC. Send us your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We got one from Trevor checking in from Stevensville, Michigan. So Trevor, thanks for watching the broadcast here tonight. Of course, you can follow me at Neal Ruhl on Twitter. Zeke, you're on Twitter as well.
Yeah, you can look me up at Zeke Harris 11. Zeke, Z-E-K-E Harris 11. I want to hear from you just as much as Neal does.
21st minute we go. On the run is Channel as he puts some pressure on Elder. Elder clears it out.
At the top of your screen, you can see the Northern Guard, they just changed it, doing a little bit of the Tetris, and I love it. It's always exciting. Look at the camaraderie there. I can tell you it does get tiring, though. it gets extremely tiring.
But you talk about the camaraderie, and I'm going to talk about the coordination. I mean, yeah. You have 1,000+ people over there. And now there's some pressure from Cyrus Sadie. Unable to come up with it. But you look at the coordination, man, all those people involved. I don't have that type of coordination. You couldn't count on me to hold up my end of the bargain.
Well, when you got a couple of people on each side of you pulling you and pushing you,
no choice.
You get it pretty fast.
Araki's long pass sent up. Now here comes a momentarily dangerous opportunity for the TwinStars. Probably their best chance of the match so far. It was Monir Darbaki. The Darbaki family also plays at Saginaw Valley State. Had a letter in track and field as well to Monir. Ball sent up. Looking for Cyrus Sadie. Coming up is Shiwi. Channel.
They're coming with a lot of cleats up around here. Is that what they do in Minnesota?
So Zeke, after some fireworks really in the first 8 or 9 minutes of this match, the pace of the match has really seemed to calm down. Now there's a ball that's loose in the box. Temporarily right-footed shot goes over top of the bar by Colin McAtee. But just as I say, the match was cooling out. A good chance for City. But Zeke, some fireworks in the first 8-9 minutes. The pace kind of slowed a little bit. Now City with that last chance.
Yeah, it's not been too exciting so far. Minnesota had a little bit of a chance, but nothing really. Right now, Detroit has to play for themselves. A one-goal lead is a one-goal lead. They can get back into it as soon as a mistake is made or anything like that. So I would feel better with a 2-goal lead. Maybe 3. Three would
do.
Make me sleep easy tonight.
The TwinStars coached by Alex Bunbury, who was a member of the Canadian national team as a player, also spent some time in MLS playing for the Kansas City Wizards. The foul is called. Can't quite see who that is down on the turf, but this would be a very dangerous restart situation.
Yeah, it looked like he almost got clotheslined or something. I wonder who's going to take this. Maybe a chance for either Cyrus Sadie or Jeff Atkins. We've got a right footer and left footer in there.
So as McAtee here, as you see the foul. McAtee hitting the turf.
Looks like he might have stepped on his foot. I'm not really sure. You couldn't see it too clear.
But it is Cyrus Sadie and Jeff Atkins. So a very direct opportunity here for DCFC. Who will be the trigger man?
Who's your guess? I'm gonna go Cyrus.
Atkins is squaring up. Let's see.
I think seniority is gonna...
Atkins, foot into the wall. So Atkins' attempt is denied, and now Atkins has it back. They serve it up towards the box. Played up into the air. McAtee in the neighborhood.
Communication there. Communication. As far as Jeff Atkins, you at least got to get over the wall. That's the golden rule of any free free kick taker.
On the right side, it's Zeke Harris. In his debut season in downtown Detroit. He endeared himself to the fans with that 88th minute goal against Cleveland. Going for Minnesota. City has certainly had the better of the chances, as the TwinStars have yet to really mount a serious threat. Now the ball comes free. Tyler Channel, the goal scorer. Long pass ahead, looking for McAtee. McAtee's on the run. Unable to corral it. And now there's a giveaway. Here comes Sadie. Sadie, left-footed shot, and the save is made by Elder. A flat-out giveaway by the TwinStars. And Cyrus Sadie almost made him pay the ultimate price.
Well done. Really jumped on that one there. Maybe should have picked the corner. Really went right at the goalie, but.
Well, the ball comes through the middle. Here's Sadie again.
Great save.
This time City waiting for reinforcements to arrive, and there is Zach Shiwi. Shiwi on the run to the corner of the box. Touched away and over the line, so a throw-in coming. Shiwi, who was second in City history in games played and minutes played. It's been a fixture here downtown.
He's fast.
Now with a burst of speed up the left side, here come the TwinStars. Ball played to nobody in particular.
Run 40 yards and give it away. That's never going to be helpful.
So now it's Shiwi again with it. Shiwi played in the 2014 NPSL Combine Tournament in collegiate soccer at Bowling Green. A long pass ahead is onside. Left-footed shot, punch shot will go wide right.
That's a really good recovery. He was beat initially, but Minnesota's number 3 got back and was able to make up for his mistake. And actually have the first tweet coming in from Trevor Fye, checking in from Stevens, Michigan. Stevens, Michigan. I have never been there, but
Sure, it's a nice area.
Sure it
Corner
is.
kick served in, the header flicked long. Now it squirts out to Atkins. Atkins, right-footed shot will go high and wide, out of play. Also got a couple other Twitter check-ins. Zach is watching in Grand Rapids. Thank you, Zach. At MHK Hogs watching in Lawrence, Kansas with his family. So a special thank you everybody watching in Lawrence, Kansas, out in Jayhawk country. Taking in some City football action. Neal Ruhl, Zeke Harris with you. We're in the 28th minute. The Rouge with a 1-0 lead. Tyler Channel, the goal scorer. Ball comes back out to the middle of the field. Latif Alashe. Now Atkins. Atkins will touch it wide. Ball played towards the center.
you can see what he was going for there. He needs to drive that one across, though. The grass is dry now. I had a little bit of a rain earlier where it was slick, but that one he really has to put some power on it to get all the way across the defenders.
50-50 ball. Won nicely by Kevin Taylor. Of course, Taylor with that height had a definite advantage. Jeff Atkins almost created the turnover and now does. Sadie chips it towards the box. McAtee's on the run. Just out of McAtee's reach.
Cyrus just bodied the guy out
He's
the
everywhere.
way. He's probably the smallest one on the field. Ooh, what a ball.
Oh, Ashe with the touch.
Oh,
and it's in
yes.
the back of the net. Oh, what a goal by Latif Alashe.
He doesn't score often, but oh my gosh. What a golazo. What a goal. I have to see the replay on that one. I'm not sure exactly what just happened, but thank you for this excitement. Wow.
The Northern Guard goes wild
I think everyone was shocked by that one.
as Detroit City goes up 2-0 here in the 30th minute. A classic touch by Latif Alashe. An adjustment with the right foot.
Yeah, he went for it the first time and was able to recover within a half a second and get it on the second touch. That's a great ball by Zach Sheewey, who's really looking up. You can't. These goals have been right in the box, and you can't get much better than that.
Latif Alashe, who was 5th all-time at the University of Michigan in matches started and been with City since 2012, provides another classic moment with the magical right foot. Here comes McAtee. He's unable to chick it over the goalkeeper. Look at that. You're right, Zeke. He initially went for the touch, missed it, and recovered with the right foot to touch it home.
And he's a player you don't call his name too much because he just does his job. But on that one, he deserves all the credit for that finish.
Well, if his job is being magical, he certainly did it here today. And now down on the turf, I believe that's Colin McAtee down. He collided with the goalkeeper, Matthew Elder. So the clock continues to tick and the smoke continues to pour out of the Northern Guard side. We'll take another look at this just classic goal. Oh no, this is the collision here. And Colin McAtee, it looks like, caught it in an area that you don't want to be caught in.
Yeah, it just looked like straight knee to knee, and a lot of times that hurts more than getting kicked anywhere else. I hope they're both all right. I don't know if he might. It looked like the ref was going to pull out a card, but I'm not exactly sure. I mean, it seemed like pretty much 50-50.
Well, this brings up an interesting dilemma for the TwinStars too. I don't know if they have another goalkeeper on the roster. Elder traveled as we take another look at the collision. And that's just one of those unfortunate, it's just a soccer play, Zeke. 2 people going for a ball.
Yeah, you can see the cards out. I mean, in that, even though it's 50-50, once you get into the box, refs tend to
changes the game a little.
Refs tend to protect the goalkeepers more. Just because a lot of times they're coming out head first.
So Elder is down. And as I peruse the TwinStars roster, they don't have another goalkeeper on said roster. So now the card is coming out. Yeah. So that will go against Colin McAtee. It has been a yellow card filled first half of action so far. We're technically in the 33rd minute. There will be a ton of stoppage time in this first half.
And even though there's been cards, it's not necessarily from vicious plays where guys are trying to get revenge on another player. A lot of times it's just been 50-50 balls that kind of end up with one player on the ground longer than the other.
So this is bad news here for the TwinStars, as Matthew Elder is not putting any weight on that right knee, on that right ankle. So we'll see exactly what they want to do. And as we said, looking at the roster, they don't have another goalie, at least according to the roster. So we'll see exactly what head coach Alex Bunbury wants to do. Former Canadian national team great, as you get a look at Colin McAtee coming off injury. And there's Coach Bunbury. His son Teal plays in the MLS right now for the New England Revolution. Of course, he spent some time in the MLS as well. Scored 4 goals over 2 seasons for the Kansas City Wizards.
It actually might end up being that kind of AYSO switch in which you just bring on another guys. Because what do they travel with? 14 players and
right.
1 goalkeeper.
Now they're down to 13, it looks like.
Yeah, you don't expect for something like this to happen, but I'll be interested to see what the veteran coach does here.
And we'll get confirmation to see exactly who, because I see the jersey down here at the tunnel. From the press box you can see the tunnel, but the Detroit City FC banner kind of overhangs from where we are, so we will try to get confirmation. Number 16, Danny Daniels, it looks like, has came in. but he has not put on the goalkeeper jersey. So what, Zeke, tell us, what's the play here?
At this point, as the coach, you got to stall as long as you can to see if you can get your goalkeeper back. If not, you might have to throw a fifth in the back or continue. Or at this point, you're down 2-0, so they're going to have to get on the offensive sooner than later. You won't, if the game ends like this, you won't be able to blame it on this play from this point.
So McAtee officially in the book with the yellow card, but more damning to the TwinStars is that Matthew Elder, who was a two-time conference defensive player of the week last year during his run of play at the University of Wisconsin Superior, looks like he will not be able to come back. He was not putting weight on that right leg at all as he was carried off the field.
And we've got some news that they're talking about what they're going to do with this. It's looking pretty dire right now.
It certainly is. In the meantime, the clock continues to tick. We will be chock full of stoppage time. And now it looks like somebody is maybe donning a goalkeeper jersey.
There's going to be like 20 minutes.
I believe that's the number 3.
That is the number 3. So Emmanuel Brown, who is a defender by trade, will now assume the goalkeeping duties. So Emmanuel Brown, who plays collegiate soccer at Fort Hays State Community College.
He kind of looks like a goalie. And if you look it, you can be it, right?
There you go. Fool him. Fool him till you make it, right? So Emmanuel Brown will be pressed into goalkeeper duty. So here we go.
And honestly, you hate to see this. You don't want another goalkeeper coming in.
They whistle the ball ready for play. Brown doesn't know how this glove situation works. Like now he's thinking to himself, what are these?
I don't think he knows how the keeper situation works. I'm pretty sure it's a kick ball, and then he picked it up and rolled it. So that's definitely not right.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Brown will be the goalkeeper going forward.
Guess he's going to test his knowledge of goalkeeping here. Didn't start off too well with that one right there, but.
So McAtee was banged up as well on the play. So they don't know. They're awaiting word on whether McAtee will return to the game or not. Now here comes an opportunity and a sliding save made.
Makes his first save, and well done at that. Definitely a defender's slide tackle, but if it gets it done, it gets it done.
Hey, when you're a goalie, Zeke, keep the ball out of the net when you're a keeper.
He kept the ball out of the net. I've never been goalie. Maybe when I was about 7 years old. That was the last time I was in the net. But, hey, no goals yet.
So far, so good for Emmanuel Brown. Matthew Elder, the usual goalkeeper, is out. Now Sammy Contreras controls. Maybe this is something that the TwinStars can rally around. Lost in all this is the fact that City has a 2-0 lead. We're in the 39th minute. But take that with a grain of salt because of all the stoppage time we're going to have. We'll be here for a while.
Yeah, and if I'm Emmanuel, I'm just wanting to get to halftime so we can discuss this position change. But props to him for jumping in there.
Somebody had to do it.
He was having a pretty good game so far, but you got to appreciate his willingness to go and goal for his team.
Speaking of goalkeepers, Alex Boyanek has it for City. Now he will scoop it up as Contreras gave the obligatory challenge. We're in downtown Detroit. Game time temperature was 82 degrees. And it's humid as well. Long ball sent up for Tyler Channel. He had the first goal here this evening.
Pretty sure somebody did a rain dance just prior to the game starting. Was able to keep the rain away, thankfully.
They talked about a chance of showers, but it's It's nice out here today.
I was never one to enjoy playing in the rain personally. I know some guys really live for it, but
Cyrus Sadie along the sideline. He'll win the throw-in. City in the home whites here today. We were talking last week. You love the whites.
oh yeah, they're so clean. I mean, almost like a Man U jersey with the collar. Really, I'm really digging it personally.
Will Mellors-Blair has checked in for Colin McAtee. So McAtee, who was shaken up in that whole collision with the goalkeeper, Matthew Elder. McAtee is out. Mellors-Blair is in. Channel maintains control to the middle. Alashe. There's a goal here tonight already. A magnificent goal. Channel, the header across. Couldn't quite get it through for TwinStars. And now Sadie, left foot into the box. Knocked down by Darbaki. Contreras on the run. Nice defensive recovery made by Shearer.
And even better by Josh Rogers to keep it and keep it good playing.
Just about 41 minutes in the books. DCFC has struck twice here so far this evening. They're currently enjoying that 2-0 lead. Kareem Darbaki's ball is punched away. Now Darbaki will retreat. He controls. Two-man pressure.
Pretty dangerous. Pretty dangerous. Ooh, that would have been sweet.
Nifty attempt at the back heel by Cyrus Sadie.
As only Cyrus can. Any other player, I would say no. Don't do it.
Cyrus certainly has a flair for the flash.
Can't take it away from him.
Of course, Cyrus as well set a school record for goals and assists at Lansing Everett High School during his high school days. Now here comes some pressure from Mellors-Blair. And Zeke, is City in one of those spots right now where you're almost a shark that smells blood in the water? You have a goalkeeper who's not a goalkeeper in frame for the TwinStars. You already have a 2-0 lead. Are you a shark circling the water right now?
It depends. At this point, you can get a little bit too comfortable and start making bad decisions, or you can be that shark in the water who's looking to score as many goals as you can.
And I'll tell you
now, City's stuck in that middle zone.
And I'll tell you right now, just by the look of it, which is usually the case when Will Mellors-Blair comes in, he's got that shark in the water mentality. You can tell he's got that balance. He's looking to put one in the back of the net.
He's got that forwards mentality. No matter what the score of the game is, he wants another, and another, and another.
So Mellors-Blair, nicknamed Flash from Nottingham, England. As a junior at the University of Michigan, had 2 goals, 3 assists last year with 18 games started. Sadie controls. Played out wide. Here come the TwinStars looking to make a counterattack. LaRouge is back.
Definitely a foul. The biggest problem with Minnesota right now is they only have once they get the ball, once they're actually able to get the ball, there's only a couple of players moving forward. There's only a couple of them. They're not going to be able to take on the whole defensive line. If they really want a goal, they're going to have to work for it.
Ball served out towards the right side.
And with passing like that, it's not going to help you out.
A pass out of the reach of Sammy Contreras. Now Contreras has made a couple of strong runs for the TwinStars here tonight. Played up and over the sideline, so a throw-in coming. 44th minute. I would say we're going to get a good 7 minutes of stoppage time, or in that area. We've had a lot of players down. Referee says play on. Alashe serves it up wide. Mellors-Blair on the run. He collects.
One-on-one here. One-on-one speed.
Mellors-Blair into the box with a right-footed shot. It's in the back of the net. Will Mellors-Blair with a goal for Detroit City. It's 3-0.
Goal! Golazo. Well done. Well done. I mean,
as advertised.
You can't blame that on the goalie. It's the defender who was 1v1 with Williams. He just couldn't handle it and got punished for it. You don't dive in there. You got to move your feet and not rely on the slide tackle.
Mellors Blair able to slip it past Emmanuel Brown. And the smoke supply of the Northern Guard is under heavy duress in the first 45 minutes. City has pushed across 3. They lead it 3-0. 45 minutes in the books. Brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Stop by and find out why Chevy drives the Motor City. Oh, left side attack for the TwinStars. Shot and the save is made by Boyanek.
And if you saw, Zeke Harris slid and he almost went for the ball, but he decided to pull back, which was a smart play in fear of maybe getting a PK or a bad call, or actually fouling him. So that's that little soccer IQ that you hear people talking about.
So Mellors Blair officially being credited with the goal over the speakers here at Estadio Azteca.
This is the most players I've seen in cities. I was gonna say this is the most players I've seen in cities have since the first couple of minutes of play. But once again, they keep on shooting themselves in the foot with bad passes.
Well, here comes Mellors Blair on the run again, but it's played away by Emmanuel Brown. Of course, Brown, not a goalkeeper. He was pressed into duty due to an injury. Long right-footed shot by Channel.
I think he was
from a good 40 yards away.
Yeah, I think he was trying to surprise him. It surprised me, for sure.
We haven't gotten the official word on how much stoppage time there is, but I trust there will be a lot. Lots of injuries, lots of time on the turf for players of both teams. Rogers went down 17 seconds into this game off a yellow card from Brian Grant. Spent a couple minutes on the turf and then came out of the game before he was finally able to come back. Colin McAtee is out of this game for the Rouge. It was his collision with the goalkeeper Matthew Elder of the TwinStars that took both players out of this game.
Honestly, I'm surprised he wasn't able to get himself one before he got injured. I'm sure if he was still in the game, he would be hunting for a goal too. But I hope he's all right and is able to get fixed up.
So we are just as much in the dark in terms of stoppage time as you are. Of course, the official time is kept down on the field, so we will press on. Shiwi heads it away. Boyanek will touch it to Rogers. Latif Alashe, who had maybe the goal of the season. We'll see if that withstands a test of time. Alashe made a move for the ball, missed on that move, recovered and scored all in one motion. Now wide on the right side, Zeke Harris, the cross. Nobody home for City. And to make sure you stick around at halftime, our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson will have a couple words with head coach Ben Pierman. I assume would be a very happy Ben Pierman.
I think happy but not satisfied. I mean,
well, coaches are never satisfied.
No.
You play the game long enough.
And you shouldn't be. I mean, yes, you're up 3-0, but your team still has to continue to get better. This is the third game in the season. Still a long way to go before playoffs, and it's not just about this game, but about the entire season.
Shiwi. Long ball across, headed away, but it comes down right to Taylor. Taylor, long pass, looking on the left side. Atkins touches it in the back of the net. Jeff Atkins with a beautiful inside heel of the left foot.
Goal!
City tacks another one on. They're up 4-0.
They just keep getting better. And from about 60 yards away, that ball came in. I mean, let's look at it here. Kevin Taylor. What a touch.
And of course, Emmanuel Brown caught in no man's land, and it's tough to come down on Emmanuel Brown. He's not a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
he's out there.
I mean,
as the whistle sounds, and we are through the first 45. But as we said, the smoke supply of the Northern Guard has got to be running a little low. Detroit City leads it 4-0 as we head into the halftime break. So an absolute eruption of goal scoring for the Rouge. As you see. And it was funny because I was talking with co-owner Alex Wright, and he said that the Northern Guard told him they brought 31 pounds of smoke. We'll see if that holds up here tonight. Le Rouge up 4-0 here through the first 45 minutes of play. It was an undermanned Minnesota TwinStars in that first half of action, but the story still remains that Detroit City has come out and put their foot on the gas here this evening, and they have not looked back at any point as they erupt for 4 first half goals and go to the locker room with that 4-0 lead, looking to stay on top of the table here in the National Premier Soccer League. So in just a couple seconds, we'll be throwing it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, as she stands by with head coach Ben Pierman. That group of fans right there, very happy so far here through the first half. And now let's send it down to our sideline reporter. 4-0 the score. And again, Zeke, when you look at this first 45 minutes of action, DCFC, they were sharks circling the water. They got a late goal to tack it on.
Yeah, it's interesting because they've all been different people, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yep, 4 different goal scorers.
At this point, it might turn into everyone like, oh, I want one too. And it could really just run away. Especially for the guys who maybe don't get too much playing time thus far in the season. I'm sure Ben is going to try to save legs as well. And once they get in, they're going to be looking to get them one, if you know what I mean.
There certainly is a lot of options for Ben Pierman as the second half of play will unfold. For City with that 4-0 lead, an absolute goal eruption, a very choppy first 45 minutes of play. Starting out of the blocks, the teams went back and forth. Coming out of the break, very choppy, a lot of yellow cards in the first 45 minutes of play, a lot of downtime. There was a ton of stoppage time. And so right now we will throw it to break. 4-0, Detroit City FC with the lead over the Minnesota TwinStars.
Soccer World is your #1 source for all your soccer needs. We have the largest selection of shoes with over 300 styles to choose from, replica and authentic jerseys from all over the world, plus the latest and hottest new gear before anyone else gets it. Everything for all levels of soccer players, even coaches and referees, plus a knowledgeable staff that can help you with all your soccer needs. Soccer World for all your soccer needs, located in Rochester Hills, Brighton, and Canton, or at soccerworldonline.com.
Remember the kid who always jumped first? The one who taught you to follow your heart. We seek those relentlessly committed to the lives and well-being of our brothers and sisters. The belief that a better life for everyone is our calling. We celebrate the kids who jump first. Because before equity of care was news, we were making it happen. We've been building it for 100 years. The world is finally catching up.
In Detroit City FC's National Premier Soccer League opener on Saturday, Le Rouge toppled the Cincinnati Saints 1-0. Le Rouge jammed its foot on the gas pedal from the first whistle and hardly eased up, garnering several grade A scoring chances in the first half. Myers with an early chance off a pass from Edwardson, but he pushes the shot just wide of the right post. With City controlling the tempo for the first 20 minutes, the scoring chances kept coming. McAtee with an absolute rocket that goes just over the crossbar, and the score remains scoreless. But finally, in the 37th minute, Myers was finally able to break the scoreless draw. McAtee brings it down the right sideline and arrives at the right corner, where McAtee sends it in a perfect cross to Myers, who finishes at the 6-yard box, 1-0 City. And that score would hold until halftime. The second half resumed with a back-and-forth affair as the Saints developed a few rare scoring chances late in the game. Le Rouge continued to pepper Cincinnati goalkeeper Ben Dorn with more crafty passing and a flurry of shots, but couldn't net another tally. Late in the game, a pair of set plays for Cincinnati threatened DCFC's one-goal lead, but to no avail. The possession-laden style of Le Rouge would ultimately score the win and marked a positive start to the NPSL campaign. In front of a record-breaking crowd of 3,112 fans, Detroit City FC hosted Lansing United in their inaugural season in the NPSL. It wouldn't take long for Detroit to get on the board to the 10th minute. Cyrus City finds Jeff Atkins waiting at the far post, but he is dragged down before he can get the shot off. Penalty kick awarded to DCFC, and Captain Josh Rogers would put it home. 1-0 Le Rouge. To the second half, tempers would flare as Zach Myers would draw a crowd that would result in 2 yellow cards and a red as Lansing United player Ben Lamb would head to the showers early. Lansing United would continue to press late in the match, but the Detroit City defense would hold strong and help goalkeeper Brett Mullen record his 3rd straight clean sheet as Le Rouge would go on to win 1-0 over Lansing United. On Friday, Detroit City FC earned a 2-2 draw against the Erie Admirals in front of another record-breaking crowd of 3,234 at Cass Tech High School. Early on, Le Rouge would create its best scoring chance of the first half with Colin McAtee possessing the ball in the corner. He sends a ball in the box to Jeff Atkins, who gets his shot deflected wide with the goalkeeper off his line. Minutes later, Erie would return the favor with its best chance of the first half when Michael Lamb is forced to make a goal line clearance to keep the match scoreless. With a 0-0 scoreline at halftime, goals were bound to be looming in the second half, and neither team disappointed. The Admirals would strike first in the 57th minute when Andre Landell would send a rocket of a shot past Brett Mullen to take the 1-0 lead. But Le Rouge had an answer in its back pocket all night long and would finally break its scoring drought in the 67th minute. Tyler Arnone carries the ball down the right flank, sends a great ball into the box to Sean-Claude Lawson, who makes quite the nifty move to find the equalizer. Just minutes later, an Erie defender would be called for a handball in the box, giving DCFC the chance to take the lead. Captain Josh Rogers steps up to take the penalty and buries it past Daniel Mudd to give City the 2-1 lead. On the verge of a fourth consecutive home victory, City would end up conceding in the 89th minute during a scrum outside the 18-yard box that caught Brett Mullen off his line. Mike Bamber finds the ball and winds up a shot that sails over the Detroit City FC defenders and drops into the net for the game-tying goal. With the draw, Le Rouge remains unbeaten at home and improves its overall record to an impressive 4-2-0.
In front of 3,398 supporters, Detroit City FC edged out Fort Pitt Regiment 3-1 at Cass Tech High School on Friday night. In the early part of the first half, City was forced to buckle down defensively after struggling to win the possession battle. Left back shined on the back line all evening, and here in the 19th minute, he makes a magnificent lunging tackle to stymie any threat from the Fort Pitt attack. But DCFC would end up conceding in the 25th minute when Sean Riley sent a ball over top the City's back line, finding Lamine Baldy, who flicks the ball over a charging Brett Mullen to give Fort Pitt an early 1-0 lead. The Rouge would go into the halftime break trailing 1-0, but that score wouldn't hold for very long. Detroit City FC would finally find an equalizer in the 56th minute. Latif Alashay finds himself in the right place at the right time in the middle of a scrum in the box, and he hammers home a loose ball to the delight of a sellout crowd at Cass Tech. Just moments later, Miguel LaPerry would find a glorious chance to net the go-ahead goal thanks to a creative ball from Cyrus Sadie, but he barely heads the ball wide of the right post, and the score remains level at 1 goal apiece. The relentless attack from DCFC in the second half would soon be rewarded, though in the 72nd minute, Sean Lawson receives the ball from TJ Van Sluten, shimmies around a defender and finds enough space to glide the ball into the net for a 2-1 City lead. And in the 90th minute, Van Sluten would be on the scoring end of things to slam the door shut on Fort Pitt's hope of a comeback by netting DCFC's third unanswered goal. Van Sluten finds another loose ball in the box and rifles home the shot that would finally allow the thousands of Le Rouge supporters to breathe a little sigh of relief. With the victory, City sets up a winner-take-all match at Lansing United on Sunday to determine who will emerge as champions of the Great Lakes West Conference and clinch a berth in the Midwest Region playoffs.
Welcome back inside Cass Tech Stadium, halftime, as Detroit City FC with a 4-0 lead over the Minnesota TwinStars. And standing by on the sideline right now, our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson with head coach Ben Pierman. Lindsey?
Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, we played well. Obviously, the biggest concern right now is the two injured guys. Hopefully, they're doing well. Moving forward from there, we played well. They left us 2v2 at the back. They're a good team. They move the ball well, but it's been physical. We just got to keep moving the ball. We got to keep taking the sting out of the game and make them run around a little bit.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. 4-0 the score through the first 45 minutes, as you just hear from the head coach, Ben Pierman. Let's take a look at how we got here in terms of this 4-0 Detroit City lead. Very warm and toasty evening, and City would come out getting the jump on the TwinStars as it was Tyler Channel, the birthday boy, getting the party started. But that classic finish from Latif Alashay, the story, as Will Mellors-Blair would get on the board as well. And then the left foot touch from Jeff Atkins over top of the substitute goalkeeper Emmanuel Brown would conclude the first half of action. That would see Le Rouge put 4 goals in the back of the net en route to their 4-0 halftime lead. So a second 45 minutes of action on tap here at Caz-Tech Stadium. And fans, in partnership with the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, Detroit City FC is excited to host youth clinics throughout the season. Each clinic will feature DCFC players and is free for kids 6 through 12 with a coupon that can be obtained at any local Metro Detroit Chevy dealer location. Be sure to stop by your local Metro Detroit Chevy dealer today and see why Chevy drives the Motor City as you take a look at the dates of those youth clinics. And you can go to the web address on the screen as well, DetroitCityFCStore.com/collection/youth clinics, and get more information. So a really cool thing that Detroit City FC does with the kids as you get a look at some of the ones on hand here tonight in downtown Detroit at Caz-Tech Stadium. They like what they've seen so far. The Northern Guard has liked what they've seen so far. The Ambassador Bridge in the twilight. Some heavy traffic going over into Canada as the commerce continues between the United States and Canada. So just moments away from the start of the second half. And Zeke, look, you pushed across 4 goals. You're in control of this match. It would be very easy to become complacent, but that's not what Ben Pierman wants. That's not what the players want.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would love for City to come out and really keep on pushing and force Minnesota to play. As far as Minnesota's side, they gotta take something back home. Even if it's just their pride. They have to make some type of move. At this point, you're down 4-0. It can't get any worse as far as how you feel. So they might as well take an opportunity to go full force ahead.
As Ben Pierman was in the shot, he's been the coach here at Detroit City since 2012. And there is the Northern Guard supporters who used up a good deal of their smoke bomb supply. Their tradition, of course, to let off the smoke every time their beloved Le Rouge scores a goal.
There's some characters in there. There's some characters in there. I love seeing that.
So just about ready to rock as the TwinStars late getting out of the locker room. Emmanuel Brown will go back to the goalkeeper spot. Brown pressed into goalkeeping action. Brian Chapman, the usual starter, injured in a collision with Colin McAtee in the first half. Brown, a defender by trade, pressed into that duty. And of course, City has reaped the benefits of that situation. So the Northern Guard is ready for the second half. We hope you are too. Thank you for joining us on DeadCityFC.com, wherever you may be watching around the world. And we are underway. The TwinStars in those road reds with the white trim. Le Rouge in the very crispy whites. Here's the second half of action. Gets rolling.
Starting off strong.
Towards the box, and now a foul will be called just outside of the City box. So this is a very dangerous situation right out of the locker room for the TwinStars. As Karim Darbaki is over, having a chat with the official.
Yeah, this should be a good opportunity for them to get something back.
This is no question their best opportunity of the evening so far. Darbaki is over.
And I was actually told that Darbaki was trying to actually go pro in school, so you know he's a good player. See if he hits this.
Left foot is deflected out by Josh Rogers. So the threat is taken away for the time being. Left-footed shot will go wide of the frame. It's Actually played across and nicely done by Chase Carey. So the TwinStars with some continued attack time against the city cage, but a throw-in coming for DCFC. But Zeke, you have to like that. If you're a TwinStars fan, you're down 4-0. It's possible that the horses are out of the barn already, but they came out and showed some fight early.
Yeah, why not? Give everyone something to watch, and let's make a game out of it. We still got 45 minutes left, which a lot of things can happen. I thought it was offside in that.
Well, there's Blair gave chase, and Brown. It looked like he just remembered at the last minute that he couldn't use his hands out there for that and played it away with his body.
It was the same the first couple of minutes of the last half. Minnesota came out strong. I would like to see them hold on to it, and like I said before, make it a game.
So now the ball is played away. Referee says play on, and here comes another opportunity for the TwinStars. Right-footed shot is deflected out of bounds, so a corner. No, it actually was not deflected, so we'll say a goal kick.
Their coach must have got into him at halftime. I think we've seen more shots than we saw the first half, the last couple of minutes.
We're 3 minutes into the second half as we press on towards the 49th minute. And in that 3 minutes, we've seen more attacking from the TwinStars than we saw in the entire first half. So I think you're right, Zeke. Whenever head coach Alex Bunbury said, it had a lasting impact on this TwinStars team.
Maybe he had some special water.
Foul is called. I believe that went against Latif Alashe. Alashe had a highlight quality goal in the first half. As the Northern Guard looks on.
Their passing is still a little bit off. They might not be used to that Detroit dirt. They really got to get it together.
Ball played along the line is deflected up into the Northern Guard. Into the 50th minute. 4-0, Detroit City FC in the lead. Neal Ruhl, Zeke Harris with you. And a late whistle of the foul call by the referee. That will not go over well with the Northern Guard. It's Kevin Taylor down to give him a hand. Can't quite make out the uniform number. It's Brian Grand, it looks like. He was mixing it up on the replay, and yeah, he caught the right foot of Josh Rogers across the midsection. That will certainly take you to the ground every time. Comes Grand in a battle, he loses control. Played up towards midfield, towards Mellors. Blair. Nice back heel touch. Here comes Monir Darbaki. His shot is blocked by Rogers. Second shot blocked by Rogers as well.
That's great defense, just sacrificing his body for the team. I'm not sure exactly where it hit him. Didn't look like a good place. But yeah, he's definitely limping a little bit. He'll have to run that one off for the next 5 or 10 minutes.
Run that one off. I like that. As we take a look.
Oh, why do we need to see the replay of that? Oh my God, I did not need to see that. Oh my God.
Ball lost out of bounds as we return to live action.
We get the shot.
Zeke Harris. And Josh Rogers, certainly no worse for wear, it looks like. And either that or he's doing a nice job of acting. One of the two. Alashe. Sadie. Atkins too far out in front. Throw-in coming for the TwinStars. Ben Bierman right now giving a tutorial to Latif Alashe. Coming out of the game, it looks like Sengra Sadie is out. And James Murphy comes in for DCFC. Special Twitter shout out to Eric watching in Ann Arbor. Eric, thanks for checking in on DensityFC.com. And thank you to everybody who may be watching around the world. Offside run for the TwinStars too far. So a goal kick upcoming, 53rd minute, 4-0. Rogers through the midfield. Too deep for Mellors Blair. Mellors Blair with a goal right before the halftime whistle. This TwinStars team is a different bunch. Here in the second 45, here comes Graham with a head of steam. Left-footed shot and a diving save made by Boyanek. So really the first time Boyanek's been challenged here tonight. Zeke passes a test.
Yeah, it looks like the forward might have ran out of gas there. He just kind of maybe tried to chip it in or cross it. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's another save in the book here to replay. I'm not sure exactly what that was supposed to be. Good hands by the keeper, though.
On the left side, there's a battle as Shiwi tried to come away with it. Instead, now it's Kevin Taylor. Taylor sends it into the box. Channel. Working towards the corner. Harris. Played out. And the TwinStars will clear it. Nate Engel serves it towards the right side, but it's taken away. Along the line, and the ball is in the back of the net. It's a goal for Detroit City.
Extra touch took him right to the touchline. It was an easy finish. Easy finish. And you can see all the smoke on the field now.
James Murphy gets credit for the goal. It's 5-0. City in the lead.
I don't know. No comment.
Then there's that guy.
Who gave him the smoke bomb?
Again, talking with co-owner Alex Wright earlier, he told me the Northern Guard alerted they had 31 pounds of smoke bombs. And we debated back and forth if that was good or bad, exactly what that meant. But apparently it means a lot because there's been 5 goals here for Le Rouge, and there's more pouring out of the Northern Guard.
I think they knew something we didn't know.
Could be the case.
They brought 31 pounds and knew they would use it, expected that they would use it.
And you have to wonder what the smoke supply is going forward. 5-0. Here comes City on the move again. Channel plays it into the box where it's punched away.
They can't breathe. Every time they get a touch, just somebody's right on.
So Murphy from Atkins officially. Here comes Mellors Blair making a run.
Played it safe there. Didn't want to get injured. Knew the defender was going to be coming in hot. Smart play. No point in getting injured when you're 5-0 up.
So we're in the 57th minute, and Le Rouge is in control. The horses are out of the barn. They're at Estadio Azteca.
Estadio Azteca. Oh my God.
Fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by Flagstar Bank, the official bank of Detroit City FC. As the lights are on, the sun has retreated here in downtown Detroit. It cools off just a little bit. The breeze has picked up. Game time temperature was 82 degrees. We've fallen into the 70s now.
Still no rain. So.
No sign of the rain. It looks like we should be good. There was some talk about maybe some thunderstorms rolling through, but they have held off. And what really is a big weekend here in the city of Detroit. Of course, DCFC here tonight. The Detroit Grand Prix going on at Belle Isle. Some physicality over along that far sideline. And a yellow card has been issued.
That's weak. That's weak. There wasn't much there. I mean, Chewy's got to keep his head a little bit better. You can see Kevin Taylor came in to try to calm him down, but that's just unnecessary. You see it here.
Zach Chewy makes the run. He just kind of throws the player to the ground.
Well, when you show it in slow motion, it's never going to look as good.
That's one of those situations too, Zeke. Maybe if the score's not 5-0, they might not come out with a yellow card there, but the official, to his credit, and you understand as well as anybody, he's got to keep control of things out there.
Yeah, and he's got to be fair. He's got to be fair. For him, the game isn't over until he blows the final whistle, so you can't fault him for staying engaged.
Pass by Danny Daniels over top of everyone. Voynick plays it out. City is in control. Comes back through midfield. James Murphy, who came in and scored a goal, and the foul is called, and now a yellow card. I can't be obsessed.
That's not a yellow card. In no way, shape, or form. Unless you play in slow motion.
So Darbacki will go in the books for a yellow card. And we've had a good 6 yellow cards here tonight. Take a look at it one more time.
It's a foul. Soccer, you have fouls. I mean, yellow cards are only going to slow the game down. We want to see them play. If it's a foul, okay, get on with it.
Karim Darbacki goes in the books. That was actually the 5th yellow card of the evening. It seems like 6 or more. But 5 so far. Well, there's a shot and the save is made by Emmanuel Brown.
2 saves in the book, I believe.
Just about 60 minutes in the books. Cass Tech.
That's all ball. Great tackle.
Nice defensive play made on Brian Graham. Connor Ferguson clears it out. So the Twin Stars will go to work one more time, and there a nice defensive play is made by James Murphy. And here comes Jeff Atkins. Atkins crossing over to the top of the box. Gives it off to Taylor. Taylor's return feed punched away by Danny Daniels. Now here comes LaRouge on the right side. Zeke Harris. This pass is touched out of bounds by Brian Chapman. Good sliding defensive play by Chapman.
You know how music can make it easier to study? I have a theory that the Northern Guard just makes it easier to play. The entire game they're going. I really want to know how many songs are in their back pockets.
In their playlist?
In their playlist.
Ball played up too far as Ferguson gave it back. Boyanik.
Maybe they should make a CD. Christmas CD of Northern Guard singing.
Jeff Atkins. That's his pass. Played along the sideline. It actually did stay in bounds. Brown came out to play it from that goalkeeper spot. Josh Rogers settles it down. 28 minutes remaining. Detroit City in control. Here comes Mellors Blair. Swing it wide to the right side. Atkins up over top of the box. Over top of the cage as well.
He did everything right. I mean, he set it up perfectly with the first touch. But, I mean, he knows and we know. He did a little bit better.
Northern Guard doing their thing. Ball's played all the way up top towards the press box here by Zeke Harris. That is the definition of getting it out of harm's way. Just kick it up in the press box.
Yeah, clear it anywhere. You can see Darbraki. Hey, you can see us. Yeah, where are we at?
It was to that side of us, though. We didn't quite get in the action.
Yeah. Didn't know we'd be on camera. I have a voice for the radio. I don't know about a face.
Mellors Blair through the midfield.
That's a joke.
See, I've been told the opposite. Face for radio, voice for TV, face for radio.
Actually, next game we're just gonna have the camera on us, and we're just gonna talk about what's happening. You guys aren't actually gonna be able to see.
64th minute, 5-0. Detroit City in command. They put it on early, they put it on often. So it looks as though they will stay on top of the table in the NPSL. The dominating performance so far here tonight.
Darbraki seems like he's getting a little agitated. Every time he's touched right now, he's kind of concentrating on the ref and what he's calling or not calling. You can easily get lost in the game like that.
Here comes another opportunity, but it's played away at the last possible moment. Danny Daniels. 65th minute. Corner will be taken for Detroit City. They tack on to that 5-0 lead.
This would be interesting because Manuel, I don't know if he would be comfortable coming out amongst the crowd of.
This is the first corner he's had to deal with since he came in. So Atkins over to take it.
They actually want to put it right on top of him then. That's it, first time.
Atkins gives the single. Plays it short. Chipped up, right on goal. It's punched out by Emmanuel Brown. Now here comes Atkins with some space. Atkins towards the back post over the top of everyone.
It's a little strong.
And you just, Zeke, you have to feel for Emmanuel Brown out there right now. He's not a goalkeeper. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And he looks very uncomfortable because he is very uncomfortable. But as you said, you have to give that man a lot of credit for stepping in there and doing there was nobody else.
Yeah, you come all the way here just to be a goalie, put it 20, 30 minutes in.
This portion of the game is brought to you by Motor City Casino and Hotel. You can see it just above the pitch here at Castech Stadium. Just a stone's throw throw away from the action here tonight. Some action going on there as well. Ball played back to Boyanek. Boyanek plays catch with Connor Ferguson. Ferguson in his second season with DCFC was second in scoring for Western Michigan last year. Comes to Murphy. He has a goal here tonight. Another Twitter check-in. Send a special hello to Brian, watching in his hotel in Sacramento, California. Thanks for catching us on DebtCityFC.com, Brian. My name is Neal Ruhl. His name's Zeke Harris. We're happy to have you, whether you're in a hotel in Sacramento, California, or in Stevensville, Michigan, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us. That ball played to Atkins in the box. I would imagine the offside flag was up, and it was. '68th minute. Substitution coming for Le Rouge. Alex Isofsky into the game.
And Alex is just as dangerous as Shiwi going forward. He likes to get up and down the wing. And
he replaces Zach Shiwi. Shiwi played a strong 68 minutes plus of the game here today. Speaking of that, another guy that's been strong, Atkins, plays it towards the middle. It's chipped over towards the sideline.
Meg.
The ball played up, the shot, and outright the shot goes over top of the bar, and a somersault in disgust by Kevin Taylor. Oh, Taylor was on the doorstep.
You can see everyone laughing there. He knows he should have had that. He knows. Even the other players laughing.
Never seen anybody do a somersault in disgust before, but there it was.
Whoa.
Double barrel. Got to give Kevin Taylor a lot of credit. There's not a lot of people that would have that kind of flash and dash off a miss.
Yeah, it's a very flashy player there. I mean, celebrating the miss, something very new. I mean, KT's great. He wears his emotion on his sleeve, and sometimes in his action look goes.
He's another guy, though, when you talk about what size provides. Kevin Taylor, with that size, he certainly uses that as a weapon.
Yeah, he dominates the midfield. Any balls in the air, he calls it and he wins it. There's a lot of trust in him. You have someone who's going to go up and truly attempt to win. Attempt to win the ball.
Troy Watson into the game for the Rouge. So Watson, who plays his college soccer at Saginaw Valley State. Tyler Channel comes on. Channel got the party started. Now another opportunity here. Murphy has it for a moment. It's taken away from him. Back heel towards Mellors Blair. Can he track it down? He does. Now Mellors Blair goes to work along the goal line. Crossing.
Great save.
Punched out by Emmanuel Brown.
You can see the city players trying to get a little bit flashy with back heels and whatnot. Don't forget where you're at.
So that man, Emmanuel Brown, forced to play the goalkeeping spot after Matthew Elder, the only traveling goalkeeper that the TwinStars have, was lost in the first half due to injury. Rouge has taken advantage. Troy Watson with it. 62nd minute, 5-0. Detroit City in the lead. Tonight's official attendance brought to you by Nancy Whiskey, 3,210. So another 3K plus performance. Some of the best soccer fans in the world. Detroit City FC thanks all of you. Northern Guard here tonight has been in rare form. The smoke supply under duress. Had to celebrate 5 bulges of the net. Blair hits the turf. The foul is called. Kevin Taylor is on to restart. Speaking of Nancy Whiskey, got an opportunity to stop by there last week after the game. The fine sponsors here of Detroit City FC. Mellors Blair doing magic in the box. Left-footed shot, loose rebound is put in the back of the net. I believe we had a whistle. That goal will be waved off. I think a foul was called in the box. Pierman saying that was not a foul, but the official says it was, and it takes a goal off the board for City. So we'll see if we can get another look at that whole situation in the box, but the foul was called before the rebound was put away. Troy Watson in midfield. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, he beat him. You still can't really see.
Can't quite see it. It's out of the frame. It was behind the play.
I don't know. Maybe he was ahead of this defender before, and maybe it was the offside call that we just couldn't see later on. Not exactly sure on that one.
The other side, the ball headed on frame. Boyanek comes up with the save. Now here's the wide angle of it.
All right,
we're pointing back here.
Yeah, I think he had to be offside. Yeah, didn't look like he touched anybody coming in. It looked like he was a couple of steps ahead.
Well, any way you slice it, it's not a goal for City. Won't matter much towards the outcome here tonight.
Yeah.
Ball served up towards the frame. Boyanek controls it easily.
It's still important for a City to keep a clean sheet, though. Up 5-0, you don't want to give up a goal. It puts a stain on your win.
A little over 15 minutes remaining here in the second half. Pass from Murphy almost got through.
Yeah, he wants his goal.
Certainly does. Danny Daniels, the last line of defense, able to punch that one away at the last possible moment. So now Jeff Atkins will trot over to serve up another corner kick. To the 76th minute we go. Substitution coming for Detroit City. Dave Edwardson in. So Edwardson, who's 5th in minutes played in club history. The corner kick from Atkins goes towards the box. Murphy plays it up. Header is flicked on.
I'm always nervous when I see plays like that with goalies coming, punching out, and players going head first. See a lot of accidents happening that way. I'm glad that one turned out all right.
Zeke Harris was looking to join the party.
And it was a great little ball in. He actually even got a piece of it, just not enough, unfortunately. Got punched in the head as well. And that's the decision you make on that.
So Latif Alashe replaced by Edwardson. We will talk about that goal that Latif Alashe scored in the 29th minute. All season long. It will be tough to top that one. Went for the initial touch, missed on the initial touch, and then in the same motion, recovered with the other foot to chip it over the goalkeeper. Highlight real quality.
Definitely in slow motion.
Certainly. It's Brian Chapman with it. Chapman set a career high in assist and points as a junior at the University of Wisconsin Superior. A lot of representation at the University of Wisconsin Superior for this Twin Stars team. Coached by Alex Bunbury, former player on the Canadian national team, 65 career caps for Team Canada. Scored 16 goals. A member of the Canadian Soccer Hall of Fame. Spent 2 seasons with the Kansas City Wizards in the MLS. Through midfield. Here comes Mellors Blair. He has a goal here tonight as well.
Looks like he was looking for some options there. Obviously the hustle to get it back there.
5 goals, 5 different goal scorers. Very balanced, consistent attack. Another substitution coming. I believe that Zach Myers coming on.
Shaking my head because you just keep on putting on guys who are going to elevate the game even more. I mean, City doesn't take a step back.
Myers trots out. Had 2 goals in his City debut back in 2013.
You got to give Jeff Atkins, great game.
Controlled this game for stretches.
This game. 1v1, there was no chance. I mean, once again on a field like this, speed killed, and bringing in Zach Myers, you don't lose anything. Not a step.
That left-footed shot. Not much danger there for Alex Boyanek. So Boyanek looking to try to keep that clean sheet. Another substitution coming for the Rouge. Andre Morris will come in for Taylor. So Morrison, the junior, the University of Michigan.
Yep. Yeah, he was there for a year, his freshman year while I was out. Definitely has a bright future.
Morris was a top 100 nationwide recruit from East Kentwood High School out in Grand Rapids, and according to College Soccer News. Kevin Taylor had a strong game here tonight as well. Troy Watson gives chase as the ball makes its way towards the corner. It's put on frame. Boyanek had to make the save. Probably the second best chance of the evening for the Twin Stars. Yeah, another look at it. That was labeled for that upper left-hand corner.
That could have been an upper 90 right there if you would have let that go. And like we were talking about earlier, sometimes goalies let it go and doesn't end up too well. I'm glad he played it safe on him.
Neal Ruhl, Zeke Harris with you. Lindsey Pearson, our sideline reporter. Happy to have you along for the ride. Wherever you may be watching on DebtCityFC.com. Thank you for all the Twitter check-ins as well.
You can catch me at Zeke Har 11. Zeke Har or Zeke Harris? I think it's Zeke Harris 11. What's yours?
At Neal Ruhl. That's Nealruhl. I'll keep it simple, Zeke.
Yeah, that just rolls off the tongue.
You can send in your tweets with the hashtag WatchCity. We've been acknowledging everybody that's been involved with the show through Twitter and showing us the exotic locales that you're taking the game in. And there's a goal for the Twin Stars. Left-footed rocket by Brian Chapman.
Like I said before, that's exactly what you don't want. Nothing can stain a 5-1 game like a goal. I mean, that's going to be what they talk about in the locker room after the game.
So Brian Chapman gets the Twin Stars on the board. with an absolute rocket from his left foot. We'll take another look at it. Just a good one-on-one move, Zeke.
Yeah, and there wasn't much separation between him and Connor Ferguson. It's just a great finish. I mean, there's ways you can prevent from getting in that situation, but once you're in something like that and has such a pure, good finish, I mean.
And we do have to give the TwinStars some credit, Zeke. And look, their goalkeeper went down. They had a defender in there playing goal. They still do in Emmanuel Brown. They were down 4-0. They were absolutely hammered in the first 45 minutes of play. But they've come out here in the second half and played Detroit City to a draw here so far. Right-footed shot will find the back of the net for DCFC. It's a goal. And just like that, they answer, and City leads it 6-1.
It's weird because if you take away the goals in the second half, it's been a pretty even game as far as pushing forward, but great one-touch finish.
Will Mellors-Blair with an absolute wicked right foot as he gets his second tally of the evening.
Jeez, yeah, that's. And the thing I'm not able to separate. Some of these goals will still happen, even if they had their goalkeeper. They would still be, more than likely, they would still be goals. The finishing has been that good.
So 6-1 the score. And just as quickly as the TwinStars get on the board, LaRouge answers. And now you see the smoke bombs being let off by the Northern Guard again. Not quite the fur. They're running low, you can tell.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder if a goal heals all wounds in this. But yeah, I think they might be on their last couple of smoke bombs. More like a mist than an actual cloud like last time.
Corner kick upcoming for the TwinStars as you get a look at the Northern Guard supporters.
I wonder if it's white smoke. They must be on the
That ball will be chipped up and out of play over the Chevy Drives Detroit City FC banner. So as we were talking about, give the TwinStars a lot of credit. They've been very game in the second half. They deny LaRouge the shutout. Detroit City leads it 6-1. So they will stay atop of the National Premier Soccer League standings for another week. Also, they will run their streak. Another chance. That ball is kicked between the uprights. They have not lost in regular season play since July of 2013 at Estadio Azteca. Inside 5 minutes left to play. There's been a lot of action in this game here tonight. Ball played into the box where the foul is called.
And that's a testament to all the DCFC games. I mean, thank you all for watching because every single game is exciting. Last week, a header for the win at the end. This year, I mean, this game is a ton of goals. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Zach Myers gives chase. And now Zach Myers will be called for the foul. Myers, who was Division II National Player of the Year at Saginaw Valley State back in 2012. Certainly a very decorated college career. comes City on the right side. Three and a half minutes plus stoppage time left. Goals from Tyler Channel, Latif Alashe, Jeff Atkins, James Murphy, and Will Mellors-Blair with 2.
I'm pretty sure the Northern Guard has a fund going to get money for their smoke bombs.
They're going to need to replenish that supply.
We're going to have to make sure if that is true, we find a way to get them more money to buy more smoke bombs.
Couple minutes of action. Of course, the Cakes are on the griddle here at Cass Tech. City in control. They're up 6-1. So at the very least, they will keep pace with the top of the table. They came into today's game tied with Madison, Cleveland, Buffalo, and Lansing. And Zeke, of course, with the way the game has gone here tonight, your attention starts to wander to that matchup on Sunday. That will be a big-time game.
Yeah, and especially because they're right around the corner. You know the fans are going to travel. And it's going to be just like a home game. I don't doubt that all of the Northern Guard will take the trip there.
Zeke Harris shot goes wide right. Of course, they take on Lansing United in Lansing on Sunday. And I got a chance to go down and talk with some of the Northern Guard members, and they relished that role, Zeke. The fact that they will go into Lansing, and as you said, they will try to take over Lansing Stadium. That will be an electric atmosphere. That will be a good time in the state of Michigan capital.
They went to Buffalo. Why wouldn't they go to Lansing, you know?
Certainly the handball is called on Mellors-Blair. That's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Will Mellors-Blair. A goal in the 44th minute, a goal in the 83rd minute. 6-1. It's been all City here tonight. Final minute of play plus stoppage time. Then all eyes will turn to Lansing on Sunday. Battle for the top of the National Premier Soccer League standings. There's Ben Pierman, the head coach.
I wish we could string that game. I really wish we could. But I have a hope for the future that if people who are watching today get their friends to watch, and their friends' friends, and their friends' family of friends, we'll rally enough people and encourage the NPSL to let us stream our away games as well.
Brian Chapman limps off the field for Minnesota. He had the goal in the second half for the TwinStars, and that will do it. The final whistle. Detroit City FC comes away victorious in very convincing fashion over the Minnesota TwinStars by the score of 6-1. So the Northern Guard will walk away happy. And Zeke, this was an undermanned TwinStars team. We talked about it coming in, just 14 players making the trip. But there are no pity parties. When you go out there and the ball is kicked off, the objective is to win. DCFC did that convincingly here tonight.
At the end of the day, you can't feel bad. City outplayed them in every single way. I mean, you can see the same thing happening in a game in the future against this team. City rose to the occasion, and Minnesota simply didn't. I would say that the players should be happy with their play. I was saying that one goal can really stain your win, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. 3 points are 3 points.
And it certainly was a big win for Detroit City here today. as they come away with that 6-1 victory over the Minnesota TwinStars. And standing by on the sideline, our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson, standing by with the head coach Ben Pierman. Lindsey.
Please remember that we are guests at Fast Tech. Please pick up after yourself.
All right, Coach, a lot of goals, but how would you assess your team's performance?
Yeah, I mean, played well. We played fast. I thought we kept the ball pretty well. I mean, it was a little bit different of a game because they were, funked. They got their goalie injured, but we played well and we played hard. I think when we play at this facility in this city with these fans, I want us to play as well as possible and score as many goals for these fans. And that we did that well, and certain guys did really well. And you just got to move forward for the next one on Sunday.
And how big is this result heading into Sunday's match first land?
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect to Minnesota. They had a good team. They played a good game. They ran out of gas, but I expect us to win at home. And now we got to move forward and play the reigning champions on Sunday at their place, and they're going to expect us to there and take the points from them.
Right, Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. Our M1 man of the match, number 2, Jeff Atkins. And Zeke, we talked about his effort when he came out as that substitution. Jeff Atkins was a guy who dominated the ball here tonight, especially in those 1-on-1 situations.
Yeah, because it's not just the goal. I mean, a lot of other players scored, but it was everything that was involved in it. I mean, the hustle on and off the ball, creating new opportunities for his teammates. Today he was unstoppable.
So Jeff Atkins, the M1 man of the match, brought to you by M1 Imaging. Jeff Atkins, a goal and the assist. Let's take a look at the scores from around the league. Madison with a 1-0 win over Minnesota here tonight. The Indiana Fire and Fort Pitt scoreless. FC Indiana against FC Buffalo tied at 2. And so that sets the stage, Zeke. When you look at what Detroit City FC has on the table, especially in terms of those next 2 contests, big game Sunday against Lansing United, bring it back here to Tech Stadium on Saturday, June 6th. The Madison 56ers in town. It's early, I understand that, but the tale will be told as far as who will reign supreme in the early going of the season.
Yeah, you really want to capitalize on your momentum early. It's an opportunity to set yourself up for a great season.
And fans, be sure you check out the online game recap. That'll be available at vimeo.com/Detroit City FC. So a dominating performance for the Rouge here tonight. They win it 6-1 over the Minnesota TwinStars. For my broadcast partner Zeke Harris, this is Neal Ruhl reminding you the final score 6-1. Le Rouge with the win. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.